Hey everyone, Ed here. I just came out of watching Furiosa: A Mad Max Saga. Now, a lot of you probably know, who watch my channel regularly, that Mad Max Fury Road is one of my all-time favorite movies. Just hands down. I love rewatching it. I love the book about the making of it is one of the most entertaining and fascinating reads about the making of a movie, in my opinion. I'm fascinated by the movie. And so I was really excited for Furiosa. And it was my most anticipated movie of the summer. Let me turn this light on right here. It's getting kind of grainy. There you go. So yeah, I was really excited to see this movie. And I took my dad to go see it actually, because he grew up on the Mad Max movies. And overall, I think this is a fantastic movie. I think it's a movie that is absolutely stunning. It's an exciting ride from beginning to end, but it is a much more uneven movie than Fury Road. Fury Road is just like a straight shot. It's a chase, and it's a movie about a very epic U-turn basically. But the movie is just the chase, right? Like it starts with before the chase, and then we follow the chase after that. And what really makes the movie is the sort of chaotic energy, the super tight editing and stuff. Furiosa it kind of reminded me of like a biblical epic. It reminded me of something much more in line with and this is, people are probably going to take away the wrong meaning when I say this, but it reminded me of something more like The Godfather, or let's say Heaven's Gate, or even like the Avatar movies, right? Where it feels like less of a movie and more like a myth. It's creating this giant mythical figure. And this time around it's the myth of Furiosa. And the movie unfolds like this big epic, and the best way I could describe how it feels to watch is, imagine Ben-Hur. Maybe there's another word here. Imagine like a historical epic, or a biblical epic, but every scene is shot, even the dramatic scenes, is shot like something out of Mad Max Fury Road. And what I mean by that is that essentially we follow this character, not go through one singular arc. This movie's, broken up into 5 different chapters. But instead, we see these moments in their lives, these tragic moments, these exciting moments, these moments of triumph, these moments of defeat. And it's a very kind of like, if Fury Road is like a one big epic mountain, this is like a series of hills that are rolling and unfolding into each other. It's just that and that is what it is, right? That is what the movie is, essentially. It's like a series of, it's bordering on an anthology, to be honest. And it's, by its nature, it's a lot shaggier. It's a much more uneven movie. Some parts of the story are more exciting than others. And the thing is, though, under somebody else's direction, this would have made the movie unwatchable. But every single scene feels just as impactful and just as insane as any of the action set pieces. And when you do that, you risk of creating a monotonous movie. And thankfully, this movie is not that. Despite the fact that it takes place in some familiar looking surroundings and all, the movie manages to be consistently visually dynamic all the way to the very end. And it is an absolute, this is a Mad Max fucking movie. This is, vehicular combat, like chaos. It's just that it's weirdly a lot more spread out between these character moments, this character building, this sort of world building. And then so the overall kind of effect of this movie is not one that you get out of most action movies. It's more actually weirdly in line with like an indie film. In fact, it surprised me how subdued the final chapter of the movie is, and I think it's probably going to be the sticking point that a lot of people are going to be discussing when it comes to this movie. Is that final chapter, because after an entire movie where like they revolve around these incredibly impressive Mad Max style action sequences from beginning to end. It might be a more dramatic movie, but they're all built around these insane scenes, right? In its final chapter, which is supposed to be this big battle, it surprisingly just kind of yada yadas a lot of it. In ways that it doesn't make the movie worse, and frankly, the action that you do get throughout the movie is so insane that, to some credit, I kind of admire that, by that point of the movie, George Miller said, you know what, we're going to be forcing this shit if we try to come up with anything more ridiculous. We might be crossing that line where it becomes too unbelievable, because some of the shit that is in this movie, oh man, it's got to be seen to be believed. There's a lot more. I will say this: there's a new dimension to the fighting that is just absolutely bonkers, and you absolutely need to see it. So I think what's very interesting is that after all these big, giant, epic set pieces, in the final chapter, in the final moments of the movie, the film constricts a lot, and it never stops being tense. The best way I can describe it is, think of it as the end of Kill Bill Volume 2 in a lot of ways, where this revenge saga ends in this quiet moment. And if I have any sort of problem with this movie, is that for being such a bold and insane movie, in the end, it's kind of the same problem that I have with The Last of Us Part 2, funny enough. In the end, it's not doing anything interesting, anything new, or anything interesting with the revenge story. Like I always said, revenge stories, I don't want to give away too much, actually, but let's just say that in the end, for being such a huge, epic, and original story, its final beats are a little muted, and they're interesting, but it is a weirdly quiet ending for this type of story, and I guess to me that is the one thing that made this movie, not be able to compete with the Fury Road. In my opinion, this movie is a step down, but it's a very minor step, because I really don't want to undersell just like absolutely phenomenal the action set pieces are here, and just like with Fury Road, they're so full of character, and they're so full of thematic development and stuff that it was this interesting thing where, as the movie kept going, you started to feel the pace. You were starting, like, there was a part of me that was like, okay, like we're sort of drawing on a bit here, but at the same time, every single scene is so well written, so well directed, that I wasn't even, I could only get so upset, because what I was being shown was breathtaking, and it's the stuff of great action filmmaking. Overall, as you guys can tell, I have a lot of mixed feelings about this. I think it's, like I said earlier, I think it's definitely a movie that you should check out if you're at all interested in Mad Max, or Fury Road, or George Miller and stuff, or just like good action movies, frankly. Just know that this feels like, how do I describe it? I don't know. It feels, it's a different feeling movie, and in great ways, in ways that I deeply admire, and sometimes in some kind of frustrating ways. I really want to talk about the actresses who play Furiosa here. We have a little girl who both of them. It's a very quiet role, and it's weird because I don't want to spoil it. Well, it's not so much as, I guess it's not so much a spoiler to say, but if you really don't want to know, maybe click off for the next 30 seconds. But at some point, Furiosa's voice in this movie is, Furiosa's just voiced by Charlize Theron, or Anya Taylor-Joy has a fucking spot-on Charlize Theron impression because it sounds just like her. And with what little there is here for either of the actors to hold on to, they make the most out of it. And they really manage to be dynamic despite the fact that they're limited by a shocking lack of dialogue, especially for the little kid version of Furiosa. And Chris Hemsworth is really goddamn good in this too. It's just that he's very present and then he's not. And then when he comes back, like that feeling of spending so much time away from him, it diminishes the overall effect here. Oh, okay, that's not good. So, anyways, my car is telling me that it's tired of my shit. It wants to know what I think of this movie. So I will just say this: Mad Max Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga, is a much shabbier movie than Fury Road, but it's the kind of movie that you should watch if Fury Road is your shit. And Fury Road is my shit. And I really did. I really can't wait to rewatch this movie. Frankly, it's just that it's like it is so different, you know. So you can be ready for that, and if you're ready for that, and if you dig what this movie is doing, I think you're gonna love this movie as much as I did. So that's all I'm gonna say on Furiosa and Mad Max Saga. I've been Ed. But before I get to that, if you've seen the movie, please let me know what you think about it in the comments because I think this is the movie that's gonna, much like I saw the TV Glow. It's a movie that begs, by the way, if you want to see that review, it's on my channel as well. It's a movie that's gonna beg and inspire a lot of conversation and a lot of debate because it is a movie that is, a lot thornier than Fury Road. And I would like to hear what you guys think of it. So please, let me know what you think in the comments. Hit like this review if you like this review and hit subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, I've been Ed. You've been awesome. Peace.